Hey Yoga with Ben gang. You're going to get started today in child's pose. You can go ahead and bring your hips to your heels. Let your hips be nice and heavy. Let your spine lengthen out. This flow is called Mormon Mayhem for multiple reasons. We are in beautiful Salt Lake City. A nice mountain in the background. And about halfway through this flow, you're going to see a nice young Mormon couple come in and get married in the background. Or just take marriage photos. So I don't know if they're actually getting married, but you can come up to a tabletop when you're ready. Start to take a few cat-cows here. Stretching out your belly, stretching out your back. As you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your heart. As you exhale, curl your spine. You can add in any organic movements here. Let that lengthen really draw you into this moment. You can flip around your wrists, take a little wrist stretch. You can circle your hips. Sort of gently just waking up your body, feeling what it needs right now. Use your breath to soften and lengthen. Give yourself a moment. You can come back to child's pose if you want. Few more breaths here, just warming up. And then we'll come back up through tabletop. So shoulders over the wrists. We're going to take a spinal balance here. So from our tabletop, we're going to extend our right leg back and then take our left arm forward. So reaching back with that right leg and taking that left arm forward. Tailbone points back towards your heels. Heel extends back, fingertips point forward. Hips are in line with one another. Once again, tune into your core here. So lift your navel up, draw your ribs together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee, make a touch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Straighten back out, and then tuck the left toes and come up into a three-legged dog. Feel energy shooting out that right heel. And then bend your knees, stack your hips. Try to keep your shoulders squaring down. Press your chest wall back. Stack your hips. And then go ahead and re-extend that leg. From here, knee to nose, bring it in. Inhale, back up. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale, sweep back up. Bring it across your body, make it touch. Inhale, back up. And then step it all the way forward, lunge on tented fingers. From here, extend your spine long, send your heart forward. Draw that right hip back. Inhale, lengthen your spine out a little more. Exhale, round into your spine, lengthen your leg. Inhale, extend your spine, bend your knee. One more time like that, lengthen out. Re-bend the leg, extend your spine. Take it into a twist, left hand down, right arm up. Draw that right hip crease back. Draw the left hip point away from the mat, stack your ribs. Right hand lands, and then step forward, forward fold. From here, hang down for just a moment, and then half lift. Extend. Fold forward. Root to rise, lift all the way up. Exhale brings you back, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant your hands down, step back to plank pose. Find your strong plank pose. Hips in line with shoulders, tailbone tucked. Navel lifting up. Shift yourself forward onto the balls of your feet. Let's take 3 push-ups here. Use your knees if they're useful. Lower down, elbows to ribs. Press back up. 2 more times. Lower down. Press back up. Lower down. Press up. And then come down to the mat nice and slow all the way. Untuck your toes. Then lift up into a baby cobra here. Send your heart forward. Draw your shoulder blades into your back. Extend the heart. Really lengthen across your shoulders. Lift up a little higher. And then melt back down. Tense your fingers nice and wide, the outsides of your mat. Press down into your fingertips. Lift up a little bit higher this time. Go as high as you can without extending yourself here. Still warming up our spine. Let your shoulders melt down. And then from here, let's take it into a shoulder stretch. Right shoulder dips down, look over to your left. Come back to center, take it the other way. Let it be a nice stretch, let it feel good. Come back, other side. Back through center. 1 more round each side. 1 breath in, left up, and then melt yourself down. Hands come down to prepare for your high plank pose. Before that, we're going to shift back into our tabletop, back through child's pose, and then we're going to come into our spinal balance on the other side. This time, left leg back, right arm forward. Once again, find your form here. That left pinky toe flex down towards the mat, tailbone pointing back, navel drawing in. Look down towards the mat to release all the way through the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen. Right hand comes down. Right toes tuck, lift up. Find your 3-legged dog. Breathe for a moment here. Find that extension in the lifted leg. And then bend, stack open. Notice what's going on with your shoulders. If you need to draw that left armpit down, lift the left leg way up. Keep pressing the chest wall back. Re-extend the leg. Re-square the hips. Knee to nose, bring it in. Inhale back. Come all the way forward, make it touch. Inhale, lengthen. Last time here, left knee, right elbow, make it touch. Take it back. And then inhale, step it through, lunge on tented fingers. From here, send your heart forward. Inhale, exhale, lengthen the leg, round the back. Inhale, bend the knee, extend the spine. Extend the leg, round the spine, inhale. Exhale, deepen the lunge. Right hand down, left arm to the sky, take a twist. Press into the ball of the back foot to lift that right hip up. Keep drawing that left hip back. Crown of the head pointed forward. Left hand comes down to the mat, and then step forward, forward fold. Land in your forward fold. And then walk your hands over to the right side. Drawing that left hip back, bending into the right knee. Come back to the other side. Walk your hands to the left, bend into your right knee. Draw that right hip back. A little side body stretch here. Come back to center. And then find your half lift, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, lift all the way up. Exhale brings you back, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And then plant your hands down. Come back to plank pose. Once again, we're just going to lower slowly all the way down onto our belly. Untuck your toes. Draw your elbows back. Once again, baby cobra. This time, let your hands float up. If you want to interlace them for more of a challenge, go ahead and do so. Lengthen all the way through your neck. Knit your ribs together, lift up a little higher, and then melt back down. This time, tuck your toes. Fire up your legs, point your tailbone back towards your heels. Lift your navel up, press up, high plank. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Land in your down dog here. First down dog of the practice. You can pedal it out, shake the hips, breathe deeply. Notice how it feels here. Spread your hands out nice and wide. Micro bend in your elbows. Lift your hips up high. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Send your eyes towards your navel. Let your heels melt down to the mat as far as you can go. And then look forward. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, lift all the way up. Hinge back down. Inhale, half lift. Plant your hands down, step back, high plank, and then move through your flow. Chaturanga, lowering down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let your shoulders sink way down. Lift the crown of your head up, broaden your heart. Hips are nice and heavy as your heart lifts. Thighs are up off the mat. And then from the base of your belly, lift up and back, find your down dog. Back and down dog, take a breath. And then look forward, step or float. Half lift. And fold. Root to rise, lift up. Fold back down. Inhale, half lift. Come back and flow. High to low, moving through your back bend. And then taking the hips back, downward dog. Breathe in down dog. Look forward, step or float to the top of the mat. Half lift. And fold. Root to rise, arms to the sky. Fold back down. Half lift. And we flow. Hands come down. You can step or float back. If you're floating back, make sure you're floating back to bent elbows. Move through your back bend. Then we'll meet in down dog. Look forward. Step or float. Half lift. And fold. Toe heel yourself together. Toes touch, heels slightly apart. Sink your hips down. Torso lifts up. Shoulders drawing down. Feel the weight in the back of your heels. Nice proud chest here. Fingertips reaching towards the sky. Making sure you can see all 10 of your toes. And then find something you can soften here. Find a way to deepen the pose for yourself. On your next inhale, full body stretch, straighten the legs. And then fold back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come down, step back. And we flow. Upward facing dog. Hips lift. Down dog. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Open up. Re-extend the leg, re-square the hips. And then step it forward, warrior one. Don't be afraid to toe heel your right foot out towards the side of the mat. Sink that right knee forward. Draw the right hip back. Tailbone roots down. Drawing that right hip back. And then when you're ready, arms can reach to the sky. See where you can soften here, maybe in your shoulders. And then interlace your hands behind your head. Open up across the front body a bit. Press the elbows back. Take a little baby back bend here. And then extend the arms up, full expression. And then hands come down, take your flow. Moving with your breath here through your back bend. We'll meet in down dog. Left side, left leg sweeps up. Bend, stack open. Re-square. And then step it forward, warrior one. You can start with your hands on your hips again, drawing that right hip forward, left hip back. Deep bend into that left knee. Tune into the details here. Drawing that thigh a little more parallel with the mat. Arms reach to the sky, shoulders drawing down. Knit your ribs together, point your tailbone down. And then once again, interlace your hands behind the base of your head. Shoulders pressing back, elbows pressing back. One more breath. And then straighten the arms, full expression. And then take it down. Hands plant, step back, and move through your chaturanga. Through your back bend. And then once again, down dog. Right leg, take it up, bend, stack open. Re-extend the leg, step it forward, lift up, warrior one. Little different this time. Left arm's gonna come underneath your right. Find your eagle wrapped arms. If the full eagle wrap is not happening for you today, so your palms are touching, you can just grab onto opposite shoulders. Either way, think about lifting your elbows up, drawing the shoulders down. Keep drawing that right hip back. Lift your forearms up towards the sky. Little back bend here, and then hinge forward into your humble warrior here. Drawing that right hip back. Your right shoulder is kissing the inside of your right knee. Spine long. And then we're going to lift up halfway, roll onto the ball of the back foot. Shift forward, and we fly. Find your eagle wrapped airplane pose here. Keep the hips square, tailbone pointing back towards the heel, navel drawing up. And then use the counterweight of your hands. You're going to shift slowly down to your standing splits. Release the bind as you get there. Kick that left leg up as high as you can go. As you're ready, big step back, lunge on tented fingers. From here, lift up to your high crescent lunge. Drop your knee down. Tuck your tailbone. And then re-extend the leg. Feel a little bit more length across the hip flexor on the left side. From here, we're just going to float this back. We're going to come into chair pose here. So left foot meets the right at the top of the mat in your chair pose once again. Thighs drawing together. Heart nice and tall. Sink down. And then lift up, full body stretch. Hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen. And then we flow, hands come down. Step back to plank. Jump back. Move through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And then down dog. Take this on the left side. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Bend, stack open. Re-extend the leg, re-square the hips. Step it forward, warrior one. Back foot roots down, arms to the sky, and then this time, right arm underneath, take the eagle wrap. Sink down a little deeper, keep drawing that left hip back. Press your elbows forward, draw your shoulders down. And then lift up into a little baby back bend, sink down. And then come down into your humble warrior, left shoulder kiss the inside of your left knee, draw that left hip way back. Lengthen out the spine. Lift up halfway. And then we fly, coming off the balls of the back foot. Eagle wrapped airplane here, ribs knit together, crown of the head extends forward, and then slowly melt down. Find your standing splits, releasing the bind when you get there. And then take a big step back, lunge untented. Lift up, high crescent lunge. Once again, drop that back knee, tuck your tailbone, re-extend the leg, and then we'll float this forward, find chair pose. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen. We're gonna twist to the right. Left elbow hooks across the right knee. Check in with your knees and your hips. Make sure the left knee is not surfing forward. If you need to scoot that left knee back, please do. See if you can sink a little lower. Twist a little deeper here. One more breath. Come back to center. Hands can stay at the heart. And then we twist to the other side. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Press your left palm down into your right. Sink a little lower. Twist a little deeper. Come back to center. Both arms lift up. And then release, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold forward. Root to rise, lift up. And then hinge back down. Inhale, half lift. And we flow, step back. Move through your chaturanga. Meeting once again in down dog. Warrior one, once again, a little different this time. Sweep your right leg up. Bend, stack open. Re-extend your leg. Bring it through, warrior one. Starting in a similar place here, so we're going to bring that left arm underneath. Little baby back bend, lift up, keep drawing that right hip back, shoulders, sink down, and then humble your warrior. Draw your right hip way back, right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Lift up halfway. From here, airplane pose, come off the ball of the back foot and lift off. And then from here, we're gonna draw our knee into your chest. And then we're gonna sink down, find our full eagle. So wrap that left leg over the right. Toes can wrap around the calf or they can stay on the mat and kickstand them. Keep the arm variation, find your full eagle. Press your legs together. Elbows lifting up. Keep sending your elbows forward, drawing your shoulders down. And then left knee draws into your chest once again. Slowly kick back. Find your airplane pose. From here, open up into your half moon. So right hand can come to the mat or a block. Left hip opens up. Engage that lifted leg. Try to stack your ribs. And then we're gonna float back slowly. Find your warrior two. Find your strong warrior two here. Arms to a T. Gaze is over the right fingertips. Shoulders stacked above your hips. Deep bend into that right knee. And then flip and reverse. See if you can sink your right knee forward. Lengthen out across your right side rib cage. Reaching those fingertips up and back. And then come forward, side angle, right elbow, right knee, left elbow extends. Flip and reverse. And then extend that right leg long, reach back even further. And then arc your way forward, find your triangle, Trikonasana. Land your hand on your shin, or your ankle, or the mat. Just make sure you're doing as much as you can to extend the bottom ribs long. From here, we're gonna float that bottom arm up, find some core here. Extend the spine long, spiraling the heart up. Take a few breaths here. And then reverse the warrior once again. Cartwheel the hands down. Step back, find your flow. Through your upward facing, and once again in downward facing. Notice the Mormon Mayhem happening in the back. You know, that's what you get when you come to Utah. Like, it's fine. It's cool. It's just, I wish they would, like, be like, hey, maybe that guy's doing yoga and we should not take marriage photo shoots right here. But if God calls you there, then God calls you there. Left leg, sweep it up, and then step forward, warrior one. Last warrior one here. Send that left knee forward, draw that right hip back, tailbone roots down, right arm underneath the left. Lift your arms up, lift your heart up, hinge forward, humble warrior. Draw that left hip back. Lift up halfway, come on the balls of the back toe. And then shift forward, lift off, airplane pose. Square off your hips. Bring that right knee forward into your chest. And then wrap it around, find your full eagle wrap here. Squeeze the thighs together, elbows to the sky. Forearms draw forward. Not to be like, if you're Mormon, like, that's cool. Like, I wasn't trying to like shit on Mormons or anything. Like, I think that's fine. Like, they're always nice people. So slowly unravel and then kick back into airplane pose. Open up, find your half moon. Left hand comes down to the mat, right arm to the sky. And then slowly step back, find your warrior two. Deep bend into that left knee. Settle into your warrior two here. Find your really strong pose here. Gaze is over the front left fingertips. And then flip in reverse. Come forward, side angle. Press into the back edge of the back foot. Lengthen out your spine, spiral your heart up, and then reverse your warrior once again. Extend that left leg long, reach back even further. And then reach forward, send your hips back. Find your triangle pose. Hand can come to the shin or the ankle, right arm to the sky. From there, we'll float that bottom arm up, core strengthener. Keep spiraling your heart up. And then reverse the warrior. This time, goddess pose. Heels come in, toes come out. Find your tailbone rooting down, stack your shoulders. Hands can come to heart center, or they can be any sort of variation you want. You can cactus, tailbone roots down, sink low into the thighs. And just breathe here. See where you can soften. Challenge yourself here. One more breath. And then lift up. Hands together. And then take your hands to your hips. I'm gonna pigeon toe the toes here. Toes come in, heels out. Take a little baby back bend. And then interlace your hands behind your lower back. We'll hinge forward, forward fold. Keeping the bind here if you want. Just getting a nice stretch into the shoulders and the hamstrings. And then drop your hands down to the mat. Find your version of a forward fold. I am not going to take on the inversion here, but if you would like to come up into a tripod headstand here, go for it. You can take your hands over to one foot and then the other. Whatever version of this that you're taking, just be gentle with your hamstrings. Keep a micro bend to your knees. Give yourself a nice deep stretch here. And then as you're ready, we're going to walk ourselves over to Skandasana on the right side. So bend into that right knee, left toes pointed towards the sky. Try to keep that right heel on the mat if you can. Hands can come to heart center. Keep your shoulders stacked above your hips. Try not to compress too much into that right side hip flexor. And then we'll transition to the other side. So bending into the left knee, right toes to the sky. Left heel is on the mat. This pose is tricky for people with tight hips, so if you have to come up onto the toes, don't sweat it. Just trying to breathe through any sensations you feel here. A few more breaths. And then we're going to pivot towards our left side. From here, we're going to find our way into forearm plank. So step back into your forearm plank. Keeping the hips in line with your shoulders, not sinking them down. Feeling this in your core. Nice strong arms here. Hips in line with shoulders, tailbone points back. Breathe here. And then walk yourself forward into dolphin pose. So it's like down dog on your forearms. And then take your right leg up to the sky, bend your knees, stack your hips. Re-extend the leg, power up that lifted leg, and then press into your palms, lift up to three-legged dog. If that transition isn't happening for you exactly like I just described, that's okay. Just meet us in three-legged dog. Right leg is lifted. And then bend your knees, stack your hips. If you want to, you can flip your dog here. Right arm reaches up and back. Hips lift up to the sky. And then hand comes down. We'll meet back once again. Three-legged dog. Right leg is lifted. Step it through in between your hands. And then we'll take that little hamstring stretch again. So round into your spine, extend your leg long. And then re-bend, re-extend. From here, left hand plants down, right arm lifts up. Take a breath here. And then we are going to step back into our side plank pose. Left hand is down, right arm to the sky. Try to stack your hips so they're not drawing forward or back. Try to keep them really stacked. Maybe you want to float that top leg up, come into a tree pose variation. Leg can stay lifted or it can stay right on the mat. And then from here, we're going to swing that right knee forward, step forward, lunge on tented fingers. From here, drop the back knee down, shift back, find your half split pose. Another little hamstring stretch. Send your heart towards your toes. Lengthen out your spine. And then from here, we're going to walk forward into our standing splits. So right leg is down, left leg is lifted. Draw your navel in to create more space to fold. And then draw that left knee up into your chest, come into stand on the right leg. Tailbone points down, peel that left knee out towards the side. And we will find our tree pose from here. Finding your strong, stable, peaceful tree pose. Whatever that looks like today. Let yourself grow a little taller. Hands can come back to heart center. Knee comes forward. Cross at your ankles, pinky toes touch. Hinge forward, find your sciatica stretch. You can draw that right hip back for a little bit more lengthening. And then walk your hands over towards the right side. Walk your hands over towards the left. If you find something you want to work on, go ahead and stay there. Just breathe into it. Half lift. Fold forward. Root to rise, arms to the sky. Fold back down, half lift. And then hands come down, feet come back. Take your flow. Moving through your back bend. And then downward facing dog. Roll forward into your forearm plank from your down dog. We're going to play with that fun little transition again. So from your forearm plank, hips lifting in line with your shoulders. Find that sort of scooping action, tucking your tailbone towards your heels. From here, walk yourself forward. Find your dolphin pose. Let your shoulders draw away from your ears. Left leg lifts up, bend, stack open. Re-extend, lengthen out, jazz up that lifted leg. And then press into both hands, lift up into three-legged dog. Make any little adjustments you want to make. Bend, stack open one more time. And then if you want, you can flip your dog. Right hand reaches up and back. And then come back. Find your three-legged dog. Once again, left leg is lifted. Step it forward. Lunge untented. Right hand plants. Left arm goes to the sky. Take a twist. And then step that left foot back to meet the right. Find your side plank. Once again, you can find any variation in the legs you want. You can drop the back knee down if you need. Try to lift up those bottom ribs. Maybe we float that top leg up. Another fun transition. Left knee, left foot comes forward. Step forward, lunge on tented fingers. Drop the back knee down. And then we'll shift back, find our half splits on the left leg this time. Toes pointed towards the shin. Breathing here. Shift forward, standing splits, lift off. Last standing splits here. See if you can send that lifted leg up. And then bend into both knees, come up to stand with your right knee into your chest. Open up, find your tree pose once again. Inside of the right foot comes to the thigh or the calf, just avoiding the knee joint here. Hands can come to heart center. Try to find some balance here. Maybe finding one point to gaze at. Find some stillness here. And And then draw that knee forward, cross your ankles, fold down into your sciatica stretch. Let your head be heavy. Walk yourself over towards the right side. Walk yourself over towards the left. Come back to center. Uncross your feet. Half lift. And fold. Root to rise. Arms to the sky. And then fold back down. Half lift. And take your flow. Hands plant. High to low. Moving through your back bend. Down dog. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. And then bring it forward, half pigeon pose. If you want to do this on your back, you can take figure 4 on your back. If you're coming into it on your belly, give yourself a moment to set up your foundation. Just check in with that back foot. Make sure it's pointed straight back. Heel pointed straight up. Lengthen out your spine. And then let yourself move forward. This pigeon pose, once again, is brought to you by your CBD store in Ithaca. Guys, I know I always say this, but please, if you are dealing with any angst, insomnia, inflammation, pain, depression, loss of appetite, maybe do some more yoga, but also stop in at your CBD store in Ithaca. They have all the products you're going to need to deal with that constant angst, to deal with that constant depression that is plaguing you in every area. Okay? Just a few drops under the tongue. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you sleep. It's going to help the inflammation. They have dog treats there. They have essential oils. They have all types of topical ointments and cream that can help you out. Don't get addicted to painkillers. Don't take, just put the bottle of painkillers down. Go into your CBD store at 305 East Seneca Street in Ithaca and help yourself out. Your CBD store in Ithaca. Come back to your breath here. Feeling this in your right hip. A few more breaths here. And then we'll lift up. You can take a little quad stretch if you want, reaching back for your left foot with your left hand. Feel that little quad stretch. Find some lengthening across the front of that left thigh. And then we'll transition out of this side, making our way to down dog. You can take that right leg up, take some hip circles. Moving in one direction and then the other. Just get some blood flowing in that right side. And we'll make our way onto the left. Left leg sweeps up. Bring it forward. Half pigeon. If you need to bring a block or a towel underneath your left hip, please do so. And then when you're ready, you've set up your foundation, and sink into this left side. Don't let yourself get in your own way here. Breathing in any sensations you feel. This pose is tough for beginners or people with tight hips. So if you're feeling a lot of tension melting away, just try to breathe through it. It gets better over time as you practice more. see if you can deepen the stretch for yourself in some way. Take a few final deep rounds of breath. And then we'll slowly come up out of this. Lift up, take a quad stretch here, bending into that back knee, grabbing onto that right foot with your right hand. And then lifting up out of this left leg to the sky. You can take some hip circles here. One direction, then the other. Just getting the blood flowing once again in that left side. Re-extend the leg, and then come back into your down dog. From here, we're going to come down into our tabletop. If it feels good, you can take a cat-cow here. And then we'll thread the needle. So sweep the right arm to the sky. Draw underneath you, landing on your right shoulder, your right cheek. You can grab onto that right hand with your left, pull the shoulder a little deeper, or you can walk the hand forward to the top of the mat. One more deep breath, and then sweep up, right arm to the sky, land it down, take it to the other side, left arm sweeps up, draw it through underneath you. Once again, you can grab onto that left hand, the right this time. Just drawing the shoulder a little deeper, feeling that nice stretch. One more breath. Lift up, left arm to the sky, and then plant it down, tabletop. From here, we'll shift back into child's pose for a moment. And then we'll swing our legs forward, come to have a seat on the mat. Legs out in front of you. Reach your arms up to the sky, and then hinge forward. Just take a forward fold here, grabbing onto your feet, your shins, your ankles. Think about lengthening out your lower back a lot, making it more about the spine than anything else. Try to relax your shoulders. Lift up, bend into your knees. Knees point up towards the sky. Reach your arms forward. And we're just gonna roll down onto our backs real slowly. Taking a moment here. Landing on the mat. We're going to take 2 more back bends here. Just preparing for bridge pose here. Press down into your feet and then lift up with your hips. Find your bridge pose. Press your shins forward. Keep your chin tucked. Expand across the front body. Hands can be interlaced underneath you. One more breath. And then slowly lower down. You can windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Last back bend here. If you want to take a supported back bend here, go for it. If you want to take another bridge, go for it. If you want to come up into wheel, hands come down and lift up. If you're in wheel, make sure your chin is tucked. Hips pointed towards the sky. Breathing here. One more big breath. And then lower down slowly. Once again, windshield wiper your legs. Draw your knees into your chest. Open up, find your happy baby. Try to press your lower back down into the mat. From here, we're going to hold on to our right foot, send your left leg long. Think about lengthening out across the hip flexor on the left side. And then switch sides, left leg comes back. Right leg extends long this time. Send your foot forward, let that heel land on the mat. One more breath. And then come back to happy baby for just a moment. Hug your knees together. Draw your knees over to the left, look over to the right. Right shoulders press down on the mat. Try to keep your knees up to the level of your navel. Let your right shoulder be nice and heavy. And then we'll switch sides. Left shoulder's heavy this time, gaze over to the left. From here, we're going to come into an inversion, so you can either take waterfall if you have a block or something to put under your tailbone, or you can take shoulder stand for a little more active inversion here. Once you find it, feet go up high. Just like gravity, do the work here. See if you can feel your pulse slow down. Feel your heart rate slow down. Thank your body for everything it's done in your practice today. If you're in shoulder stand, you can take the legs behind you, come into plow. If you're in waterfall, stay right where you are. One more breath. And then let your feet land. Move the block to the side. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana here. Feet together, knees butterfly open. If there are any other postures your body needs to make your practice feel complete, please take it. As you're ready, when you're ready, send your arms long, send your legs long. Let your shoulder blades lift up a little bit. And find your final Savasana here. Softening your face. Nothing left to do. Releasing everything onto the mat. And just breathe here. Relax in every way you can here. Only job right now is to rest. A few more deep breaths here. Releasing any tension. Slowly coming out of this, start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, shake the neck from side to side. Then you can reach the hands up above you, take a big stretch. Just any movements you want. Just bring some life back into the body. Hug the knees into the chest. And then roll over onto the right side. One more breath here. Then when you're ready, come up to have a seat at the top of the mat. Crisscross applesauce. You guys did such a great job today fighting through the Mormon Mayhem. Thank you for joining me. Thank your body for coming to the mat. We'll see you next time. Namaste.